Thank you, Kimbra. Thank you so much, Kimbra. Kimbra, thank you so much. Kimbra, thank you. Hi. There's something that's been weighing on my mind. Weighing on my mind implies that this is a negative, but it's not. It's something that I find very fun, something that's brought me a lot of joy recently, and that is online quizzes. I'm sure you, as someone who is currently in the midst of utilizing an internet connection, is intimately familiar with internet quizzes. Whether you're familiar with them because of BuzzFeed quizzes, or Facebook quizzes, or even all the way back in the halcyon days of the old internet quizilla quizzes. You know, for some of you, you haven't heard that phrase in quite a while, and a fan fiction flavored shock just went through your body. Sorry about that. And even if you're not intimately familiar with online quizzes, I'm sure you've done one or two in a magazine before. Today, the spirit of online personality quizzes is being kept alive and robust and thriving by a little website called YouQuiz. Quizzes are fun. That is the reason why they keep coming around anytime a new medium emerges that has the faculties to support quizzes. It is fun to sit down and let some random person who doesn't know you tell you who you are, what your personality is, who you're going to marry one day, why you haven't married them yet, and you know what, maybe even when you're going to die. And I welcome the anonymous quiz makers of the internet to tell me all of those details about myself. And in fact, I think we should do some today. Well, I don't think, I know. I've collected several of them in anticipation for this moment. I feel like YouQuiz is really special because it brings back the spirit of the old quiz website, Quizilla. In that, it's not only personality quizzes, but it's personality quizzes injected with enough fandom. The only word coming to mind is mange. I don't know if... Basically, you have a bunch of people who have consumed 8 lifetimes worth of media and have attached themselves personality-wise to this media and to the ideas presented in this media, making quizzes to describe other people who are probably just as unhinged. And that is exactly what I want in a personality quiz website. So I thought it would be really fun to just do some of these on camera and see if I can figure out if I even have a handle on who I am as a person. I don't know if I'm the best person to make that decision, right? So why not put it in the hands of complete strangers? Let's get started. This quiz is called Choose Some Men and I'll Diagnose You with a Mental Illness. It's my quiz and I get to choose which men are sexy. I already love the energy here. Question 1 of 7. Pick a singer. Our options are Drake, Mika, Harry Styles, Declan McKenna, who I don't know. Hosier, the Irish chanteuse, you know. Sufjan Stevens and Ben Platt. Yeah, I guess Ben Platt is a singer. I guess he does sing. I mean, you've backed me up against a corner here. You've removed all my agency. If you're asking me to pick a singer and one of my options is Hosier, that's who gets picked. Next. Pick a Marvel actor. Taika Waititi, Tom Holland, Tom Hiddleston, Chris Evans, Jude Law, Winston Duke, or Sebastian Stan. This is another really easy one. I myself am not a big Marvel fan. I like Marvel movies for sort of anthropological reasons. Have you ever gone to a highly anticipated Marvel movie on its opening night at the theater? Oh, it's astounding. The reactions when anything happens in the film. People around me in the theater fighting to say the quote at the same time as the actor, and then you hear it with like varying degrees of rhythm all around the theater. Oh, the guy who tries to say something funny to make the whole theater laugh like he's also in the movie. I don't even care what happens in the movie. I just love that. Anyway, I'm picking Taika Waititi because he's very hot. And I pick a Star Wars actor. Fandom Part 2. Love to see it. Mads Mikkelsen, John Boyega, Adam Driver, Ewan McGregor, Oscar Isaac, Donald Gleason, and Harrison Ford. Once again, I'm being placed between a rock and a hard place here. When people say they hate the Star Wars prequels, I just look at them and I'm like, did you have your eyes closed for all of the scenes in which Obi-Wan was on screen? Covering your eyes? Because you must not have seen him. if you think the prequels are bad. He was in the movie. And he had a beard for part of it. I'm not seeing where the disconnect is, but clearly you are. And yet Oscar Isaac. Well. Pick a conventionally attractive man. Not a diss, most of these people are very sexy. Dev Patel, Logan Lerman, Hugh Dancy, John David Washington, Paul Rudd, Kit Harington, or Darren Criss. Hello? 2011, it is so nice to talk to you again. I'm gonna keep this one short. I'm picking Dev Patel because I'm correct. Pick a man who's kinda weird looking. As a woman who's kinda weird looking, I appreciate this question. Being kinda weird looking is really a part of my identity. I consider it to be a foundational block in who I am. Our options here are Cillian Murphy, Misha Collins, Shane Madej, Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson, Rami Malek, and Eddie Redmayne. I'm gonna carry on. I don't need to dwell on things. Pick an older man. All right. George Clooney, Colin Firth, Hugh Grant, Stanley Tucci, Rupert Graves, Robert Downey Jr., and Hugh Jackman. This isn't even a fair question. That you need to write a formal letter of apology to every man on this question that isn't Stanley Tucci. How could you put these dudes up against Stanley Tucci and expect anyone to pick them when it's up against the Tooch? You're gonna lose. Lastly, pick a random man that I like. James McAvoy, Ryan Gosling, David Tennant, Taron Egerton, Robert Sean Leonard, 3 names, greedy, Richard Madden, or Leslie Odom Jr. I'm gonna keep this very brief because otherwise I will start screaming. I'm gonna pick David Tennant. I will always. He's got that something. Sexy. I love winning. I'm gonna get such a good grade in YouQuiz. I suffer from chronic sexy disease. My taste in men is unsurpassed. I probably am good at making TikToks. And the quizmaker wishes they were me. One of the funnest things about YouQuiz is that they will show you what the other possible results were for your quiz after you finish it. 30% of takers of this quiz were diagnosed with annoying, 25% sexy, 18% diagnosed with gay, 7% diagnosed with straight, 7% diagnosed with theater kid, 6% diagnosed with super hulock, and 3% diagnosed with daddy issues. That seems very small. That's one quiz down. I'm feeling good. I'm already feeling a little bit more self-actualized. If you don't watch Succession, I would like to deeply apologize for how the next couple of minutes are gonna go. I'll try to make this quick. I just have to do this one. What Succession dynamic are you? Just a fun little quiz, but if you don't think your result applies to you, you're wrong. What's your deepest fear? Oh Christ. Not being enough, being alone, being betrayed, enclosed spaces, death, irrelevancy, failure, being left behind, or not being needed. Obviously death. Obviously death. Which room speaks to you the most? Oh, big ass windows. Love that. Do you ever just look at certain pictures and you're like, damn, I gotta marry and then murder someone rich fast. I like this room right over here with all the greenery. I'm gonna pick the greenery room. What do you want? Love, power, wealth, success, peace, loyalty, to be home, or influence? I think I want peace. I just want to not have a bunch of carbonated thoughts buzzing and hitting the sides of my brain. I want to just like have everything be chill. Peace. Pick a song from my Spotify Wrapped. Motion Sickness by Phoebe Bridgers, Atlantic City by Bruce Springsteen, 45 by Bleachers, Immune by Jensen McCrae, Devil's Advocate by The Neighborhood, Happy Without Me by Chloe and Halle, Stubborn Love by The Lumineers, Grow by Willow, Gives You Hell by The All-American Rejects, First Love Late Spring by Mitski, Ivy by Taylor Swift, or Brando by Lucy Dacus. If you put a Mitski song on a list of songs, I'm gonna pick the Mitski song, First Love Late Spring. Thank you. Can people change? Yes? No? Or, that's a complicated question. I think so. I think if people truly couldn't change, the world would have ended like 65 years ago. So pick an Ewan Roy quote. I gotta pick You Look Terrible. Haggard. Incredible! Succession is just my favorite show. I think it's so wonderful. Oh God, this is so many words. Don't you know I'm doing this for a YouTube video? 2 Phoebe Bridgers songs in 1 question. Sandy, are you okay? I'm gonna pick I Talk So Much Because I'm Scared to Begin, Secret Life by Bleachers, even though I've never heard that song. Finally, pick a Succession finale episode. 110, Nobody's Ever Missing. 210, This Is Not for Tears. And 309, All the Bells Say. I have to pick the season 3 finale. There's not a ton of times I can count that television has actually made my jaw fall open, but Succession does it to me. Who's your favorite Succession character? Yes! Tom and Greg. You're not exactly an optimist, are you? Fuck no, baby. People think you're foolish, but they don't know that you see the world for what it is. Cold, uncaring. You've had to fight for everything you've ever got. But there's a softness to you that circumstance has never been able to corrupt. You may not be happy, but you're aware. And there's power in that. If it's not obvious, this is what I was hoping for. Tom and Greg are my favorite part of Succession. I love them deeply. I'm so happy. I am a genius. Let's do Were You Written by a Female or a Male? This is in response to the idea that women are really good at writing male characters. So when people who spend too much time online encounter a guy who appears decent, they say, oh, he was written by a woman. Likening him to the gallant, strong, sensitive, desirable male characters often written by female actors. I think it's an absurd way to describe a person who exists in reality and was written by nobody other than their lived experiences and I guess God, if depending on your beliefs. But yet at the same time, I would like to know about myself who I was written by. Let's begin. It's Saturday night. It is Saturday night. What are you doing? Probably reading some fiction book. Why fiction specifically? What if I'm reading a nonfiction book? What if I'm reading the Encyclopedia Britannica? Partying? Hanging out in the city with some friends? Or sleeping in, maybe? Sleeping in? It's nighttime. Sleeping in happens in the morning. If you're sleeping in on a Saturday night, you might be dead. Probably reading some fiction book. Music taste? Probably something old that no one really listens to anymore. Okay. Love songs that make me feel like I'm walking on air. A song that allows me to start throwing it back like a stripper. It varies and I do see if people like it or not. It does vary, but I do see if people like it or not. I get very embarrassed when I have to play my music around other people. I will watch my Spotify shuffle like a fucking hawk. If anything even borderline embarrassing or fringe comes on when my music's on shuffle, I will snatch my phone away and I'll put on like, I don't know, something everyone likes, like Buttons by the Pussycat Dolls or something. Hey, remember when we were all alive 15 years ago? Wasn't that great? Let's reminisce and not think about the fact that the Danganronpa theme song just started playing out of my phone for 5 seconds. What is something you want to hear? Real shit? The Danganronpa theme song. But I promise you, I see you. What kind of friends do you go to? Profit kind of friends. The kind of friends who give you advice on everything and will always try their best to make sure your feelings are heard. I'd prefer advice from books. All kinds. They just come to me. Cheerleaders. They will offer acceptance most of all and then get all stripper with you sometimes. What's going on? I like all kinds of friends. Or whatever. College dorm / apartment vibe. Plants almost everywhere along with books just lying around. It is simple and elegant. CDs, cameras, mirrors, anything I want in there, biatch. I don't have a certain aesthetic. Lol. I don't know. My room is... I like nature. Everything has kind of like a plant or an animal on it in here. I have my Mount Everest poster, my moon poster. I've got a plant here. I got flowers in my bed sheets. I have this rug that kind of looks like water. I have an octopus rug. I have an octopus there. I have an octopus right behind me. There's the octopus. I was written by a lovely female. Not just a female. A lovely female. The woman who wrote me is hot. Take that, haters. You are probably a really calm person. No. Generally looking forward to something bigger than yourself. You're eager to go beyond what you are. Keep reaching for your dreams, shawty. Thank you. Next up we have, I diagnose you with hot. What hot are you, baby friend? Highly specific heat warning. Pick a way for people to describe your beauty. Intimidating, charming, attractive, infuriating, fascinating, or radiant? I'm a big fan of the word radiant personally. I like being described that way. It makes me feel like I'm radioactive. Which of these do you feel is your best quality? My confidence, my intelligence, my style, or my personality? I genuinely consider my sense of humor to be my best asset, and that's part of my personality, so I'm gonna pick that one. Do you like being talked about? Yes! No, no unless it's positive. Pick a Greek god or myth to hang out with. I feel like the quizmaker intentionally didn't put Dionysus on here because everybody would just pick him because he's a good time. I feel like if I hang out with Aphrodite, it's just gonna be a lot of her going on dick appointments and me having to like hold her bag. Persephone. I mean, if I'm hanging out with Persephone in the spring and summer, it's just gonna be me hanging out with her and her mom, which, you know, is fun, but I don't always wanna hang out with someone's mom. You can't really like get into the nitty gritty girl talk with some of your friends' moms there. But if it's the rest of the year, then I'm gonna have to hang out in the underworld, and I don't like pomegranates that much, so. And Hermes, I feel like would just be like hanging out with a bike messenger. Like, he's busy. Athena, to be honest, seems like she might be a bit of a square. Like, what are we gonna talk about? Phalanxes? Like, do you wanna discuss a planned invasion of a neighboring city-state? Or like, Sudoku? Like, Hephaestus can make me a sword. We can talk about volcanoes together. I'm sure he knows a lot about minerals and different types of minerals. I feel like he and I would really vibe. I'm picking him. Pick a common visual trope in media used to signify that someone is comically attractive. What a fun idea for a question. A wink, a gleaming smile with a little starshine effect, a zoom shot of the person where everyone in the background fades out, hair flip, slow motion walking sequence, the character seeing the person drops whatever they're holding, high quality shot of that person glancing at the character then returning to talking to their friends, or the character is startled when they close their locker and the person is standing there. I've always been a very huge, massive romantic fan of the slow motion walking sequence. I think about myself doing a slow motion walking sequence all the time. Choose where you are noticed. Coffee shop as a customer, coffee shop as a barista, at the library, at the school dance, loitering someplace, or at the mall. Coffee shop customer. You walk in the doors, everything just stops. Even the espresso stops. Are you good at approaching people? No. Color to be associated with your vibe, not your favorite color. I'm gonna pick black. Pick a duo of words for your admirers to feel about you. Jealousy and appreciation, intrigue and intimidation, eagerness and joy, fear and excitement, fondness and frustration, comfort and admiration, or intoxicated and foolish. That one, bitch, making people all like, making people feel like they're drunk around you because you're so captivating and tantalizing and your energy is so addictive. Are you kidding me? Making people feel like idiots, making them feel foolish to even look upon you, making them feel flustered? That's hot. Be honest. Do you yearn? Who doesn't? Drunk girl in the bathroom hot. I'm so good at these. I am so good at quizzes. Before you get home, she gives you a hug and kind words and a bubbling voice, and you're thankful for her. Thankful there are people out there who look out for people like you, who stand up for people even when they might have trouble standing themselves. This is the nicest thing that anyone has ever said about me, and it's not even about me specifically. Thank you so much, this quiz in particular. I feel great about myself now. The other options: incompetent intern hot, person on the train reading a book hot, math tutor hot, friend you have a weird rivalry with hot, Bob the Builder hot. I'm curious about what that means. Rock star hot, Pink Panther hot. Pink Panther, like the Pink Panther? The question is, do I feel any closer to complete personal enlightenment now that I've taken these YouQuizzes? The answer is, of course, yes. Several of these quizzes just told me that I'm hot and sexy and cool, which I don't really think there are other things that I need to know about my personality. So I would say that this journey into self-reflection was a resounding success. I will of course be linking all of these quizzes in the description so you yourselves can go on the same journey that I went on. And I hope you come to the same level of blissful acceptance that I have arrived at. Thank you so much for watching this video, but before you leave, I'm going to need you to do a quick favor for me. I need you to go ahead and have an amazing day for me, because that is what the hot drunk girl in the bathroom would want you to do. If you would like to interact with me betwixt uploads, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok at NisiPisa. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to use code NisiPisa for 10% off at checkout at your local therapist's office. This sign-off is specifically for the people who take that man mental illness quiz and organically get daddy issues. Hope you guys are doing okay. Bye. I give you a Succession character and a Mitski song. Kendall and a Burning Hill.